Hi everybody, I'm Sunny and you're watching Sunny Preps, and I'm outside catching the last little bit of light at night to do a video response to Uman and Aaron T. Scott. You guys have heard me mention her before, and I wanted to let you know that she had a fantastic channel. It was Aaron T. Scott. She had almost 12,000 viewers and 6 years worth of videos showing people how to do everything from making a lumber mill out of a chainsaw and welding your own wood stove and everything in between, setting up lots of solar, things like that, all kinds of homesteading material. And she got hacked. Her actual channel got hacked and taken over by somebody that posted a whole bunch of Japanese stuff and just flooded everybody's inbox with all this Japanese stuff that nobody could understand. And she finally got that taken down. She has started a new channel called The Real Aaron T. Scott, and I'll link it below. You guys should go check it out. She's got a lot of knowledge to share with people homesteading from scratch. She and her partner moved to vacant acreage a little over a year ago in the Ozarks, and they built their own house and they have chickens now and are really creating a garden. And it just, you know, they're completely off grid, using solar, composting toilets, rain collection water, all that great stuff. And she really has a lot of knowledge to share, and I think you guys should go check her out and help build up her channel. Since she went from 12,000, she's almost to 1,000 again already, because she's being able to contact a lot of her previous viewers or previous subscribers and let them know what happened. So it's The Real Aaron T. Scott, and it'll be linked below. So the challenge is 10 COVID-19 questions, or quarantine questions. Aaron was challenged by Uman from the Syndicate, and you guys have probably heard of him from John on the Prepared Mind, talks about him a lot. So Aaron tagged me in the challenge, and then I will be tagging some of you at the end. And my good glasses broke, so I have my emergency ones on tonight. But I have more in my preps down in the basement, and I just haven't gone to dig them out yet. How many rolls of toilet paper do you have? Well, I stopped counting at 300, somewhere between 300 and 350. Plus I have boxes of the little coin tissues that when you get them wet, they expand into a full sheet. Okay, what has been your biggest change since lockdown? The biggest change I've really had, because I retired actually from my full-time job to work my own real estate, rental real estate properties. So the biggest change for the actual lockdown has been not going out with my friends on the weekends. Usually once every few weeks we try to get together and go out. And I miss my friends, and I am so over going out. I do not miss that. If they could just come over here. It is nice to go hear a band and do some dancing, but that was one of my forms of exercise, and I haven't made up for it. Didn't do it often enough to really count as exercise. But mostly just missing them. Another change that I've experienced is some meetings that I've gone to, but I'll mention that later. What are you most grateful for? That I no longer work in a diagnostics lab. The department I worked in would be the lab that is performing the tests for the COVID-19 right now, and I just don't want to be around it, and they're probably swamped. I worked an odd shift, which is one of the reasons I van-loosed quickly. But I don't know what they're doing to make up for the volume of work that they're doing now, but I'm glad I'm not involved in it. The other thing I'm grateful for is that I started prepping and preparing for things like this and other situations a little over a year, well, almost 2 years ago now. And that I started paying attention at that time to the geopolitical events around me and the economic situation around me, I really was just not paying attention. I was educated in the things I was educated in, but I was not aware, didn't care about politics, really didn't care about the economy as long as I was able to pay my bills, didn't care about the stock market, nothing like that. And I'm glad I've been paying attention to it enough to know how it's going to affect me and the things that I'm going to do. I still don't really care about any of it. But I want to know how it's going to affect me, my future, and my family's future. What have you gone without lately? I haven't really gone without anything. I had pretty much everything I needed, and a lot of the stores around here are still fully stocked. For a while there was a little bit of a shortage on toilet paper. I think I was in a store one time. It wasn't even like a real grocery store, but it was a convenience store that had, or not a convenience store, it was a Dollar General. And where they should have had flour on the shelf, they didn't have any, but I didn't really need it anyway. So there have been a few little things like that that aren't available, but I've had everything I need. Some of the inconveniences are that you can't actually walk into a bank and talk to a real person. You have to go through a drive-through. That bothers me. And our bank, the bank I use for business, is only drive-through now, and it's always busy when I go. There's always cars waiting in line, and then they reduce their hours. That doesn't make sense to me. My glasses are crooked. If they're going to just do drive-through only and be really busy, why wouldn't they lengthen their hours instead of shortening them? Oh, and the local water department just closed almost immediately. As soon as anybody could possibly close, they closed. They're not answering the phone or working from home or anything like that. They just closed, and you have to go down there in person and actually have a wet signature to start water service if you've just moved into an area, or if you have tenants, or you've just fixed up a place, now you're ready to rent it. Fortunately, it hasn't really fully affected me, but there's always the possibility that it could. The funny thing is they're really pretty well set up to deal with the public, because there's a giant plate glass separating the office people from the public, and there's only like 3 people that work in the whole office. But they closed, and they're not, I think somebody said maybe they're answering emails, but they're not answering the phone. There's a maintenance line that if you suddenly don't have water at your house, or you see a water main break, you can call the maintenance line, but the office is not answering the phone. Let's see, what are you most grateful, no, who are you most grateful for? Sorry, that would be my family. All the different people in my family have played different roles in what's going on in my life. My mom's mostly raised me on her own from about the time I was 10. My dad was involved, but at a distance, and so I'd have to say she was really critical in making me who I am today. And my dad is now very involved with me in the ventures that I'm doing right now, and advising me, even though he's still pretty far away. But he's doing a lot of advising and involved in the businesses. And my kids are great, and they're close by, and you know, I don't see my son very often, but we have a good relationship, and my daughter and I have a really good relationship. She's noticing the difference between our relationship and all of her friends with their mothers. So I'm glad that she does see a difference and appreciates that, and that's really fantastic. But family is going to always be there for you, even extended family and my brother and things like that. They're the tribe. They're who's going to be there for you. Number 6, what are you missing the most? Actually, that is kind of important to me, because one of the reasons I left my job in such a hurry like I did is that I had arranged my schedule so that even though I worked evenings, I had Tuesdays off. And every Tuesday I have a meeting for different organizations that I belong to. Some of them are for fun and some of them are professional. And I really enjoy going to all those meetings, interacting with the people in them, learning lots of stuff, making connections and networking. And then suddenly my hours at work changed and I had to start coming in on Tuesdays again. And then I put up with that for as long as I needed to. And as soon as I quit my job and started working for myself, everything got canceled. So bad. I want my meetings back. Some of them have been able to go on by Zoom, but not all of them. And it's not the same. And number 7, when was the last time you were at a campsite? You mean like just hiking by, or actually all night at a campsite? I'm just kidding. It has been a long time since I actually camped like in a tent. It's 25 years, close to 25 years. My honeymoon was actually spent camping, and so that was really, it was a good experience, but that's the most recent time I can think of that I stayed in a tent. However, I used to, like John at the Prepared Mind, live in a fifth wheel trailer. Only I think he gets to stay there by himself. Sometimes one of his sons is there with him. I was in there with my, at the time, husband, 3 kids, and a dog. Got to be tight corners during that. We lived in there because my husband's job took us around all over the country, and so we traveled. But we kept the family together that way. Let's see. What is your favorite quarantine food? Number 8. What is your favorite quarantine food? Well, I really haven't changed my food habits because of the quarantine. I was well stocked. I did totally use the quarantine as an excuse for bailing on my keto diet that wasn't working anyway, so I was frustrated, so I did that. But as far as having a favorite or not a favorite, I'm not much of a cook. I enjoy other people's foods. That's probably one of the things I'm missing also, is going out to eat. You know, even if I don't go crazy and just, you know, go to a salad bar or something. How are you exercising and working out? I'm not, except that I have been working a little bit in the garden, and I maintain my own home, and I have been doing repairs and deep dive cleaning on rental properties. So that's a little bit of a workout, but not a lot. And mowing yards in the rental properties. That can be more of a workout, but I had help, so I need to do more of that. I look really bright on the screen, but it's getting dark out here and the mosquitoes are going crazy. Number 10, what is or will be your pandemic panic purchase? So I already sort of told you guys this, or well, I definitely already told you this. I have been planning to buy a homestead and move back to my home state of West Virginia, and that's still happening. I did start to panic buy something, thinking I wanted to get out of the city pretty quickly. I've sort of calmed down with that. I'm going to just take the rest of the summer to really search for the thing that I want, and you know, hopefully I'll find something within that amount of time, and hopefully the prices will go down, not necessarily because of the pandemic, but because of economic situations that were already happening anyway, and that just pushed them over the edge. So hopefully I'll be able to get a better deal by waiting, and but I'm still moving up that purchase to this summer, if at all possible, or this year, maybe moving in the fall. Now the bonus question is, who are you going to challenge? It says pick 5 channels, and I have 6. So I am challenging West Virginia Prepared Mind, North Star Prepstetter, Pine Knot Family Farms, Virginia Prepper, Will Patriot, and Pennsylvania Prepper. Don't forget to check out Erin T. Scott and her channel. It's packed with good information, and she's just crazy talented in all of her abilities, and we could all learn so much from her. So until next time, keep preparing, keep smiling, because a rainy day is no match for a sunny disposition. Bye guys.